The next part that we're going to work with is E, and we need part 1, which is this piece and this piece. They're on the ends, E1, and we're going to use our M2 and M3 motor. The M2 motor is the one that has the white gear, and the M3 motor, it has the black gear, and these are the blue and black wires. So we're going to go ahead and remove these pieces and file off the tabs so they're nice and smooth. And we're going to need 8 P15 screws. We'll need 4 in the top and 4 in the bottom. So I'm going to remove those. And that's going to be all of those. Going to be all of those screws. So we're through with the P15 screw. Put that out of my way. And I'm going to file these off, and then we'll get ready to add those to the motor. Okay, we're ready to attach our M2 and M3 motors together. We're going to have the M2 motor, which has the white gear on the left, and we're going to have the M3 gear motor, which has the black gear on the right. And we're going to attach them using this piece, and it's going to sit right on top of each one, and we're going to place the screw in the top, and we'll do one at a time. And your wires should be facing the insides. They should be like touching towards each other. So we're just going to attach this one first. And drop my screws in the hole. There's the M2. I'm just going to do the M3 on the other side, same way. I filed off these tabs on top, but they may not be filed off quite enough. I'm going to have to file a little bit more to get it smoother so it'll fit flush. I'm just going to tighten these into this M3 motor. Check these again. This is what one part of it will look like. Notice the white over here, the black over here, and this piece on top. And we're going to attach the same piece on the bottom, just as we did this one on top. Start with this piece. I'm going to drop the 2 screws. Actually, I can probably go ahead and drop all 4 of them. So the 2 motors are connected now. And just tighten them up. Again, if you'll notice, all my wires are in the center. The next part I'm going to need is F2 and F3, so I'm going to remove those. And again, I'm going to file off any rough edges. I have a couple of rough edges there. I'm going to put these 2 pieces together. This one should fit down. Put it together like this. And they just kind of are snug there. Then we're going to, well, I told it for just a minute. And then take a P13 screw and insert it through, not the side with the piece sticking out here, but the one with the flat long side. And I'm going to drop it down in that hole and attach these two together. And once I secure that, it's going to go on the end of the motor with the white gear. And you're going to secure it with 4 P12 screws. There'll be 2 on each side. Once I've assembled this piece onto the end of the motor with the white gear, you can see that there's this little peg piece that's sticking out. That should be facing the same way as the side that you can see the gear. The other side has the, it's flat back here. The next thing we need to do is we're going to attach this part of the arm to the base. So we're going to assemble the piece to do that. We're going to need these two E3 pieces, and we're going to need the F7 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off. Once I have my E2 pieces and the F7 pieces, if you'll notice, there are little pegs sticking out, and there are holes here on these, and you're just going to line those up and snap them together. Very simple. Here's one end, and here's the other end. Okay, and that's all there is to that. Okay. And then this is going to attach to the piece with the 2 motors. It's just going to slide through the hole. And if you'll notice that these notches are here, and that's so that it'll catch on this gear. I'm going to make sure that's facing in. And it just pushes there. And you're going to take a P14 screw, which is here. And this is a different screw. This is called a tapping screw. Okay. And then this side will attach, and again, this part with the gear is going to attach to this motor that's on the base, so that this is catching this gear. And secure that with the P14. Now, to the other side, you're just going to attach the this piece, but it will not have the piece on the inside that catches on the gears. And it's just going to fit right there. And you're going to attach with the P14 screws. I'm just going to work these in, tighten these, and there we have it. Once this part of your arm is assembled, you'll notice your M2 motor, which is your white motor, is going to be at the end that is not attached to the base. The black motor, the M3 motor, is going to be attached to this arm that is attaching to the base. The next piece we're going to assemble is the gearbox assembly for the gripper. And we're going to start with N, and we're going to take off piece 1N, and I'm going to take that off. And we're going to turn it over. Now, if you'll notice, there are two holes here, and there's an arrow right above one of the holes pointing that way. Okay, that's going to be very important when you're placing your pins. I'm going to use this round shaft. This is the P9. This is the longer pin, and it's going to go in the arrow, the hole not near the arrow. I'm just going to stick it right there. And then P10, which is the shorter shaft, and it's going to go in the hole right beside the arrow. So they're side by side. And then you're going to take the blue gear and the black gear, and you're going to place that black gear in the blue gear as we've done before. Now this time we're going to kind of work backwards. We usually start with the black one, putting it in first. This time we're going to start with the brown. So we're kind of building up. And the brown gear is going to start on the outside, the longer shaft. So I'm going to drop that down first, and then I'm going to alternate the gray ones. This one's on the shorter shaft, and then this gray one is going to be on the longer shaft. And then I'm going to place the blue and black right on top of that. So they're still all turning, but you can see we've just kind of reversed the order that we've done this. Once I have the gears installed here, I'm going to take my last motor, which is the P1 motor. This is the one with the yellow and black wires. And here's the end with the gear, and it's going to connect with these gears. There's a slot here for it, and then the motor's going to rest right here. And your two wires are just going to come rest in this slot. So I'm just going to drop this in. It should fit right in there. And then I'm going to look for part F5. So I'm going to go back over and get this. I'm going to set this down for a minute. And here's F5. And if you'll notice on the back side, it looks kind of like a wagon wheel spoke. It looks like spokes. So I'm going to remove that. And you're going to have this spoke side facing your motor. And there is a slot, a little hole here, and this end is just going to drop right down in there. And be sure that the wagon wheel looking side is towards the motor. Once you've installed this piece, you're going to get N2, which is here, and you're going to remove that. Get that removed, and you can see how it will match up perfectly with the top. This is going to cover the motor. You're just going to lay that and it's just going to hold everything in place. There's a hole that gear will go through, and it will just snap down on there. Make sure everything fits where it should go. Once that's snapped down on there, you're going to flip this piece over, the whole thing, make sure you're holding it, and you're going to secure it with 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to use your P11 screw, and you just drop them in, and you're just going to secure these 2 pieces together. I'll tighten those in just a second. Try to get them all started. Okay. Tighten those, and now you've assembled the final part for your motor. Okay. Once you have these screws secured, you're going to lay this down so that your motor is facing towards you. If you'll notice right on top, there's this one is where this is that gear from when you installed the gears, and then there's another hole beside it with a circle. You're going to remove 2 pieces, and we're going to start with N6. You're going to remove N5 and N6, but we're going to do N6 first. And if you'll notice, it has little notches inside, so it's going to catch right on that gear. Now, it's very important that when you install this N6 and N5 piece, that they are the same distance to this center here, okay? So, let's go ahead and take 5 off. And you can see these also have little gears that can catch, but you want them to be turned at the same angle from this center point. You can't have one down like this and one up. So try to get them as equal as you can. That doesn't look quite equal. The P6, using the last remaining P11 screw, and I'm just going to start that just a little bit so it'll hold it in place. And then you're going to install the P5 piece using a P17 screw. And just tighten those. Before you install piece N5, you're going to remove an N7 piece, and if you'll notice, it has a peg that extends here. That's going to be facing out. This other end, you're going to slip right in between, right in this little slot. It's hard to see. Yeah, right here in this slot, so that when you attach this piece, and remember your edges have to be equal, then this P17 screw is going to catch through the piece that you just slid in there. So you want to try to get it so that it, and I missed it. Line it so that it catches that piece. And then tighten. So you can see it's caught in there in that little, with this screw that I just attached. Now I have removed 2 N8 pieces and the other 2 N7 pieces, and we're going to assemble those. If you have your motor facing up, and these are the 2 pieces that you just installed, if you will notice right down here there's a peg that sticks up, and right beside each one there's a hole, and this is where we're going to place these pieces. I'm going to take a P17 screw, and you're going to turn this so the finished side is up, and the bigger end is going to stick out. You're going to put the screw through the smaller end, and it's going to go right here. But before you stick it all the way down, you're going to insert your P7 with this extended end facing down. We're going to insert it right between these 2 pieces, and so that when you insert your P17 pin, it's going to go through both of those, and they're going to move freely there. And then you'll just tighten that, and I'll finish tightening it in a minute. And then right beside there, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to slide the P7 piece in between these 2 pieces. You're going to place your N8 on top and stick your P17 screw through there. Oops. To catch all those. And then tighten. So once I've secured these screws, these pieces you can see will just move freely there. Okay. Now I have removed pieces N3 and N4, and if you'll notice, N3 has an R marked here for right. N4 has an L marked for left, so you need to make sure that you're getting right and left in the right spot, in the correct spot. And I have 2 long magnetic strips that are, you just peel the back off, and you're going to attach it to each one of your pieces here. I'm just going to attach that right here to the back. Peel and stick, and this is my left one. I'm going to place it over on this side. Here's my right. Peel and stick. Okay. Now you're going to insert these pieces. This first one, which is the left one, notice the position of this piece I have in my hand. Here's your motor, and here's this piece. I'm going to keep those up at the top, and your gears here are these 2 pieces that you just put on. The left one is going to go, actually it's going to be on your right side, the way you're holding it. And the piece with the little bumps is going to face out. Okay, so your piece is going to be attached like this. Now, it is going to go, there are 2 holes here. The first 2 are going to go through here. Let's go ahead and stick this screw in here to hold this in place. And then these 2 are going to go around the other hole. And it should just kind of catch in there to hold it. And I'm going to get my P16 screw. And just kind of secure that, and I can tighten them in just a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put the one on the right side. Now this one, now remember there's only one piece here. We didn't attach one underneath it. This is going to slide up under there, and it will catch. Your bumpy pieces are going to go out, and it has a little notch there, and it's going to catch in that gear. And then it's going to go in between these 2 loose pieces. And again, I'm going to use a P16 screw and just drop it in and tighten until it holds. And then I can finish tightening it. Okay? And here's how it looks. Once I've tightened these three screws, you notice that this one keeps coming. I had just pushed it till it caught right there, and it'll keep coming loose. We're going to flip it over, and you're going to insert your last P16 screw back here from this side. Until it's tight. So now it's not going to come off. Once these gripper arms are assembled, you're going to take your piece with the light. This is part 22, P22, and at the other end there's just the connectors. And you're going to slide these connectors through. There's a slot right between these 2 screws. You're going to slide that through there. Just work it all the way through. And your wire's going to fit, your light's going to fit right down on this little slot here. And you're going to get part P9, and you're just going to slide it over the light just to secure that light in place. And it just slides right down on top.